this thing on? All right, let's go. Let's go. Hello and welcome to episode 221 of Heroes of Handheld. And this is the internet's premium handheld gaming podcast dedicated to all things handheld, whether that be your Switch, your PlayStation Vita, your PlayStation Portable, Nintendo 3DS, 2DS, 3DS XL, DS, mobile, and more. My name's Chris. Normally I would be joined by Colin. He's a little bit late, so he's asked me to get started, get the starters out of the way, eat the hors d'oeuvres, delicious, and then don't worry though, because I'm sure he'll be here in time for the main course. But we can all enjoy the starters together. Delicious. So this week has obviously been huge for gaming, with E3 happening at the moment, and with all the press conferences over the last few days. There's been loads and loads of news, which we're going to tuck into. I think I want to save the main Nintendo conference for when Colin gets here. But what we'll do to start off with is I want to talk about some of the mobile news that we've seen, and then we'll do some of the kind of lesser Switch stories as well. And just to kind of personally reflect a little bit, for me, this was a really interesting and enjoyable E3. I thought it was quite interesting seeing I watched all the main conferences apart from Square and about half of Microsoft. I probably came in about halfway through. And for me, it's been a really interesting year. I think there's obviously been a lot of hype and predictions about which third parties are going to appear where. And we were all kind of curious to see what happened with Nintendo and what happened with Smash Bros as well, and whether we've got any gameplay or any news for other titles this year. And there was some of that. I mean, it was mainly a Smash focused presentation, but I thought it was pretty good. For me personally, I thought that the better conferences were probably Ubisoft's, Nintendo's, and PlayStation's. Ubisoft's especially was really fun and really different, and obviously Assassin's Creed looks amazing. And then somewhere in the middle, you had kind of Microsoft, and EA was okay, and then Square was pretty bad. Bethesda I didn't watch live, so it's a good, it's good E3, and like it made me really excited about some games. I think this for me was the first E3 year that it felt like most of the big surprises had been ruined, or not spoiled or ruined, but because of leak culture. I think more had been leaked than kind of ever before, and it did mean that some of the that's partly my fault, I guess, for looking at leaks and stuff, but it did mean that a lot of the sort of bigger things we knew about. I mean, for example, Assassin's Creed Odyssey would have been like a really huge reveal if they hadn't had that keyring leak a couple of weeks ago. So yeah, it's good, but good conferences. And like I said, Nintendo's one was pretty interesting. And as a big Smash fan, I'm a big Smash fan. It was really cool seeing it given that in-depth level of detail. But let's talk about. I want to talk about, first of all, some of the mobile news that came out of the show. So the first big mobile announcement that I saw, the first kind of mobile piece of news that we had, was during EA's conference, where we had a slightly, it was awkward. A slightly kind of weird section where a couple of professional streamers, esporty athlete types came out to play this new mobile game called Command & Conquer Rivals. Although when they were playing it, we didn't know it was called Command & Conquer Rivals. It's a territory control game with a kind of spacey sci-fi isometric military theme. One versus one real-time matches against rival commanders, where you're warring over Tiberium. Android players can pre-register on Google Play, and iOS, if you go to cncrivals.com, you can pre-register, and also at cncrivals on Twitter. If you go on the trailer on YouTube, you will see that EA have uploaded it and has 1.7k likes and 39,000 dislikes. So people are perhaps not very keen on it. It doesn't seem to be being received very well, obviously partly because Command & Conquer is a loved franchise, a loved series, and this isn't maybe the direction a lot of people wanted it to take, which is a bit of a shame. For me personally, I found it was just a weird move because I was watching the EA conference live, and it was such a like it really killed the I found for me, it really killed the momentum to have this really long game go on of this thing that kind of didn't look that interesting anyway. And then for them to try and save a little bit of hype and attention by revealing that it was Command and Conquer at the end, I don't think that really worked particularly well. And the internet seems to have agreed with given the massive amounts of dislikes versus like ratio. But yeah, this game will come out. Does it say when? Command Conquer Roll was just skimming through the trailer, which is different to the actual gameplay. It doesn't look like they said when it's going to come, so I assume probably just generic later this year. But yeah, let's keep our eyes peeled for that. I mean, it looks like the thing is it could be a really good game. It's just obviously not Command and Conquer. Then the next big, I would say, the next big mobile news happened during the Microsoft conference, and this was another weird moment. Actually, again, I was watching this live, and I knew that there was information coming. Well, I knew that there was a new Gears of War coming because, and I told Colin this off air, but at the at Comic-Con this year, one of the voice actors from Gears of War, who's also big in kind of cartoons and Futurama and shows like that, a guy called Joe DiMaggio, someone asked him about whether there was a new Gears of War coming or Gears of War 5 coming. And he did this, I mean, we can talk about this now because it's been confirmed. He did this thing where he looked at the guy in the audience who asked the question, and he was like, I have no idea what's happening with that game, whilst like nodding his head. And, obviously people got really hyped and loved Gears of War. So I thought it was going to be a Gears of War announcement, but I didn't really know the mythos or the lore. So I was watching this trailer and I was like, oh, this looks really cool. Gears of War, cool explosions. And, obviously everyone in the room was like clapping and really hyped. And if you didn't watch this get announced live, I don't think you'd quite realize, because as soon as they turned into Funko figures, the applause just completely dived down. It went from like 100 to 0 so quickly. It was really weird and kind of uncomfortable to watch. Like, it was very cringy. It'll be on those kind of cringy 3 videos in years to come. But Gears of War is heading to mobile with a Funko Pop skin, a Funko Pop game. I mean, it's kind of an interesting way of getting Gears on mobile. It's called Gears Pop. There's an announcement trailer which you can watch, and it comes out sometime next year. I mean, they also then went and announced Gears 5 and that I think helped clear the room a lot. But it was such an awkward. Oh, it really makes my skin crawl. But yeah, it will come out in 2019, collaboration between Gears of War and Funko Pop. So do keep peeled for that. I mean, like, I think sometimes the internet gets really het up with the idea that making this means other games won't happen, when actually clearly that's not the issue. It was just very, very awkward. Then we also had, during the Xbox conference, one of the head honchos came on and was talking about how much they want to work on streaming, and how they are looking at streaming more, big up to stream more games, look at changing the cloud service to stream more. And one of the big announcements that came out of it was sort of slipped by, but I've seen a lot of the kind of mobile news pages picking up on, is the fact that EA announced that they are looking to be streaming onto mobiles. So hopefully we'll see more information on that, maybe in the weeks to come. But yeah, new game streaming service from Microsoft coming to smartphones could be really big, especially because I know people who've paired their Xbox controllers with their phones, and it's apparently relatively simple to do. So this could be a big deal for them. And, a great way of Microsoft getting their games out there. And for me personally, I'm never going to buy an Xbox, but I probably would sign up for Game Pass if it meant that, or Games Pass, if it meant that I could stream, the first party titles on my phone, especially if my internet was good enough. And then, I guess all you'd need would be a controller and you'd be good to go. So yeah, we'll keep hold for that. And the last bit of mobile news, I am really genuinely all about this. So this is during the Bethesda conference, and it's Elder Scrolls Blades. I'm so excited for this. The gameplay looked really, really cool. And I was really surprised actually because I thought it was going to be a bit, I don't know, I wasn't really sure what to expect, but I was like, I don't know, I just wasn't sure. But it just looks really cool. And one of the great attention to detail things that they've done is the fact this is a first person Elder Scrolls game that combines town building, dungeon exploring, and hello, Colin, and inventory management and equipment and customizing. We're just finishing off the mobile news and we'll start on the Switch stuff. Hi, by the way.
Can you believe Radley's being announced? What craziness!
What's Radley?
Your boy from Star Fox, the
Oh, no,
Radley in the.
yeah, you're being a dick. So Elder Scrolls Blades, you can pre-register on playblades.com. A first-person Elder Scrolls game which plays in portrait and landscape, which is for me like a really, really cool move and a really great, thing from Bethesda because clearly they're thinking about gamers and different way that people play and stuff. I mean, it doesn't look amazing, but it could be quite fun. And I don't know. I'm excited to try it. Have you watched the trailer for this?
I've not seen the trailer for it, but I know about the mobile Elder Scrolls games. It's very exciting. But I agree with what you say. The graphics don't look that good, but it's a free game. Yeah, it's free to download, isn't it? But does that mean there will be instances where you'll have to spend cash to reboost your energy or your soul gems or something like that?
Yeah, well, I guess we'll see. I don't know. I'm hopeful.
Makes sense though. Really does make sense to go mobile with Elder Scrolls because you got it on every other device. Why not just put it on your mobile as well?
How was your E3? What did you watch? What did you enjoy? What were some of your highlights?
I sporadically watched it. I didn't watch Sony's obviously because I like to sleep. I followed.
Did I tell you? Did I tell you I got up for that?
No, you didn't.
I got up at 2 in the morning to watch the Sony one.
Wow, you must have been pretty disappointed because it was one of the weakest ones. But
it was not one of the weakest. I was saying before you got here because you were busy wanking yourself off. I would say that Sony was probably second best.
Right.
It was great. Spider-Man was so fucking cool. I mean, it was really awkward, especially the intermissions. That was very unexpected.
Was there any? Did we get to see more of the QuickTime events that everyone loves so much?
What in Spider-Man?
Yeah,
it wasn't very clear.
Yeah, I think because in the last trailer, it must have been last E3 now, maybe Gamescom or something, where they released a gameplay trailer, and it was full of QuickTime events, and everyone's like, "Oh, that's a bit worrying. We don't want that in our games. You don't want to tap A to jump or stuff like that." I mean,
you won't be able to tap A because it's not coming to Xbox.
I know it's not. I know it's not power. Well, X or whatever it is you crazy kids use over there on the PlayStation worlds. But no, I mean, I thought Microsoft's one was very. Normally, Microsoft is the weakest, but I thought theirs was pretty darn good. The games they showed very exciting, like a new Halo, new Gears of War as well. Liking that. Cyberpunk, like a bit of that.
Cyberpunk looked really good. Before you got here, we were just talking. Well, just talking about how awkward it was in the room when that Gears of War trailer turned into a Funko Pop trailer.
Like for a moment, people thought that was all we were going to get Gears of War wise, and people were about to lose their minds about that. But yeah, it's an interesting move, really, isn't it? I didn't actually see the reveal for that game, the Funko version of it. I saw you message me as soon as because I was following it on Twitter. So I didn't actually see. How did they do it? How was that trailer reveal? Was it like a build up?
You can watch it here at handheld.wordpress.com. Pitch black room, Gears of War logo comes up.
Yeah.
Everyone starts, cheering, going mad, whooping, hollering. And then I don't know if you remember in the trailer, but the logo is spray painted on the wall, and then the wall is being like sawed apart from behind.
And
then a Funko Pop comes out of nowhere, and the applause is "Whoa, Gears!" Silence. It just cuts.
That's brilliant. Proper trolling there. But talking of the logo, I do like the new blue logo for Gears of War 5, and I think it looks really good. I'm liking the story's taking potentially a more serious route, and I mean the story elements have always been probably quite weak in Gears of War, especially in the original trilogy. Wasn't really much story to it, to be honest. It was all about let's go kill the Locust, let's kill General Ram, let's end the Locust, and then they put all the story elements in the novels and the comics and things like that. But with this new one, I'm liking the about the main character's past and going into. I like the environments they're showing off as well, and some of the enemies look pretty cool. I love the bit where they were walking through a forest, and it was like the sun was coming through the trees, and there were streams and rivers. So I'm dead keen for that. I mean, Gears of War 4, the online specifically was fantastic, and the campaign was good as well. So more of the same, please, for Gears of War 5. I'm well up for that. But Halo Infinite also announced. Never really been a big Halo fan, but yeah, I know a lot of people appreciated that. But I think Cyberpunk 2077 was the biggest one that got people a bit frothy. I thought that looked pretty darn good.
What about I want to start talking about Switch because there's a lot to cover.
Oh, Chris, can we? I know we need to talk about Switch, and we're going to go straight into it now, head first. But I have to say something. I watched the stream. It wasn't great, was it? Let's be honest.
Wait,
hold on. No,
no.
Saying, but Smash makes me erect. I love Ridley. Let's be honest. Like it was pretty much like a bit of throwaway stuff, and then they got to Smash, and that was your lot basically. That's all they mainly focus on, which I know it's going to be a big game, but it would have been nice to see some other games in there as well.
Here's the thing, Colin. Right. I want to talk about some other Switch bits in other conferences before we talk about Nintendo.
Right. Wow.
Because
okay.
Nintendo is the crescendo. Because we had in the Bethesda conference, they confirmed that Fallout Shelter is now available on Switch. You can download it right now if you missed it on mobile last year. Elder Scrolls Legends comes to Switch later this year. Star Fox comes to a game called... Now,
that was a bit random.
Did you watch Ubisoft?
I didn't, but I heard about this game that's coming to every single platform. But if you get it on Switch, you get Star Fox.
Yeah, so Starlink is a toy-to-life game where you build spacecraft, and then you can customize the spacecraft to clip on your controller. And in the trailer, they showed the normal trailer, and then they showed this cut of the trailer, which about halfway through, Fox from Star Fox came on. And honestly, I welled up. It was too much for me.
You didn't.
And I was just like, it just was such a surprise. It was such a good moment. And what I was saying earlier, I feel like most of the really cool stuff about E3 leaked this year, but that was just like the first real big surprise for me.
Yeah.
And it was really cool. And we also had another game from Ubisoft conference called Trials Rising. And you wanted to wipe this from the roster.
Well, they shunt it out. Yeah.
I think you will actually really like this because it's a physics, like a 2D motorbike game, and it looks very mini clip. I know how much you love mini clip.
We've had games like Trials before. We have on Vita. So is it the same?
It was like Trials Fusion was the last one. I think.
Yeah. I remember it being on Vita. Trials Vita. Yeah, it was Urban Trial Freestyle apparently.
Yeah, Trials is trial biking is, I guess, where it comes from, and there's loads of different games of that ilk. But I think this would be a bit of you.
A bit of me.
Yeah, you love like little games.
Shit. You were gonna say I like shit, weren't you?
Yeah, I was gonna say shit.
No, we just need to mention the other Bethesda announcement that the small announcement, quite a small indie game that was, but the Elder Scrolls 6. Oh man, never have I got so erect over just a scenery and nothing else.
See.
Proper made me hard.
But this is what I don't get about you, Colin, because like it's just that you must have known they were working on that game.
Yeah, but we've not heard any confirmation. It's just nice to know that.
But it was just a tree. It was just a zoom in of a tree. Like
there was a funny meme I saw online. You know that guy? I don't know his name. He's in WWE, I think. He's like the boss man. He's like wears a suit and he's like does weird things. Falls off his chair. There's a meme where he's falling off his chair. There's like loads of different pictures of him like getting more and more excited, like off his chair,
leaning forward. Yeah,
and when it's the Elder Scrolls 6, when he's literally like falling off his chair. Like, oh man, that's me. Yeah, I mean, we're probably not going to see Elder Scrolls 6 for a long time. Let's be honest. It's probably about 2 years away now. But I'm well into Skyrim at the moment, and I probably picked the best time because the 6th one will be coming out. At least we know we're in due course. But I'm excited, and I like how they're still keeping the Elder Scrolls love alive with those mobile games as well, and that nice little a reference to how they realized they've released Skyrim on loads of different platforms.
That trailer was good, wasn't it?
That was good, like the ultimate edition. That was quite funny. So
I
yeah,
think
they were good.
it's interesting that they're calling it Elder Scrolls 6 rather than Skyrim 2 as well, because Skyrim has kind of become its
crazy.
But Skyrim has become its own beast, like almost separate to Elder Scrolls. Like it's outgrown its brand.
But
Do you know what I mean?
But then if they do a Skyrim 2, people will be asking, well, when's Skyrim? When's Elder Scrolls 6 coming out? Because all of them have been. It doesn't matter how big they get. Like probably back in the day, Oblivion was probably huge. We just don't remember. Well, we know it's big.
Not compared to Skyrim though.
Stop, criminal scum! Oh, I love it. I'll never forget Oblivion. Such good times. When although the NPC dialogue was just great. I don't know you, and I don't wish to know you.
Okay.
Right. So can we talk more Switch? Can I just do one bit of news that Switch announced, which we were expecting? We even spoke about it last week, I believe. Fortnite is on Switch. Woo!
Have you played it yet?
No. I need to actually download that. That'd be fun. But it's not a surprise. We're all expecting it, and I think you even predicted this, that it'd be made available straight away during the conference.
Yeah, a lot of people did, because it was on the eShop update. The big discussion that I've seen around Fortnite though is that if you try and sign in on your Epic account, if your Epic account has been signed in on Fortnite and PS4, it won't let you sign in, whereas Xbox it will. And I've seen people are kicking off about this on socials. I don't know if PlayStation will do anything about it. I really hope they do, but it doesn't seem very in the spirit of the game.
Wasn't there the same issue when it was out on mobile and people were trying to log into the mobile version? Like they couldn't get in for some reason. Like when people were being given the codes, before it was fully released. That was a
separate issue though. That was the codes weren't. That was the codes weren't set up to allow for signing in players, whereas this is straight up Epic and Sony not letting you sign in on another version if you've got it on. You can still do mobile and PS4, you just can't do Switch and PS4, which for me is ludicrous. I would understand if it was Xbox and PS4, but I mean, come on.
Hey, Xbox shining the beacon. But no, I will download Fortnite, because I think playing it on Switch would be, having it on mobile was great. The ability to play it on mobile was great, but the controls just a bit too small. But now having it on Switch, the smaller screen that you can take around with you, having the actual Joy-Cons that you can play with as well. Have you played it yet on Switch?
No, not yet, because I can't sign in.
Oh yeah, of course, because you're on PlayStation 4. Hilarious. Anyway, Xbox One ain't got no problems. 99 problems, but Switch Switch ain't one of them.
Right.
Right. Okay.
And also in the Nintendo conference, before we talk about Smash, Overcooked 2.
I saw this, and as soon as I saw this, I messaged you saying, "Oh God, you're going to be frothy for that."
Including, they've said that as well as having new kind of physics in the game about how you can throw and handle ingredients, more chefs, more kitchens, more recipes, also online co-op, which is a really big step for them, because the last game was local only and it was a real shame. Online, I think, is going to be really good. Comes to Switch August the 7th. They've also said that there's going to be more levels themed around the dog character, which I'm all in for. And the one of the really interesting things about it is that the last game was just made by the one studio, whereas this time they had a lot more assistance from the publisher, Team 17. So graphically it looks, I'd say, a lot better. More recipes, more. Bloody love it. Can't wait. Cannot wait.
Yeah, I knew you'd be frothy for that. I literally rolled my eyes so much. My eyes were in the back of my head when I saw that.
Yeah, but why are the eyes in your back of your head?
I know. It's just funny because it's something that you like, and I like to act as if it's terrible. But I'm sure it's actually really fun. I'm sure it is fun.
Wow.
I'm glad you're going to get more games. Can we just quick? I know it's not in the notes, but can we quickly mention the info we got on Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, which was mentioned?
Yeah, but there wasn't really any new info, was there?
Well, they gave a better indication of how your Pokemon will be transferred to from Pokemon Go. When they were showing the video of it, you saw you tap a button, there's a loading screen, and it appeared in the game on Switch. But I don't know if I'm imagining this, but is if you've caught a Pokemon on Pokemon Go and you transfer it to Let's Go Eevee or Let's Go Pikachu, you have to catch the Pokemon again. Is that correct? Or am I
It looks like it goes to some sort of park type thing.
Yeah, so you don't automatically. So what if you transfer it and then it runs away? Can Pokemon run away in Pokemon Let's Go?
I mean, I would assume they stay in the park until you catch them.
Yeah, that seems a bit
because it would feel very, very not in the spirit of Pokemon if they ran off.
I mean, looking at a little bit more gameplay footage in the trailer they did show, it does look very fun. It looks very colourful, very bright, and I'm sure it'll be fun. We've got the release date of November 16th for both of them, so yeah, a couple of months' time. But we need to mention the Pokeball that you can purchase with it as well for $50, which will give you Mew in the game. Now, I'm a bit confused as to what this Pokeball actually does, to be honest, because it seems it just like flashes a little bit and then that's it. Like there's a little light on the front of it.
You can use it as a Pokemon Go Plus, which is the brooch they initially made. So you can use it as that in Pokemon Go. You can also it changes the way that you can catch Pokemon in Pokemon Let's Go Eevee, and you can put Pokemon in it to walk them for experience as well.
Oh yeah, and they make little noises, don't they, if they're inside the Pokeball? So that's quite a nice touch. But you get Mew, which is awesome. But it's $50. So are people going to want that? Who knows? I'm sure they'll be.
I mean, it's expensive, but like it'll be a good toy, won't it? People will get it for the toy factor.
It will look cool on the old mantelpiece. So that's what we got from there. Was it? Oh yeah, we haven't mentioned Mario Party, which was I'm
surprised you're not more keen for this because one of the watching the Mario Party trailer. I mean, obviously it was a surprise and it looks like really ace anyway. But one of the really unsung bits was, do you remember a little while ago, Nintendo patented the technology that lets you put Switches next to each other and have characters essentially move from one screen to the other.
Yeah.
And I mean, that is
really cool in the trailer where they're playing that and there's a little tank and you can go across into someone else's Switch. That was really, really cool, actually.
And I think it's one of those things that if you were to show someone, like if I was to show my mum that, who doesn't maybe get tech, she wouldn't understand why it's a big deal. But like the transfer is like, it's blowing my mind. I have no idea. I mean, it must work with accelerometers, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi's, whatever.
Maybe it can only be connected in one way, because looking at the trailer here, it's connected in sort of like a cross way, isn't it? Like it's the top left corner of the Switch.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's like, well, it looks like they're moving it to different degrees though. So I suppose as long as, I don't know, I think it's fairly flexible. But you need to watch this trailer if you're not quite getting understanding the excellent way we're explaining it, and check it out, because it's really like, I think it's genuinely mind-blowing technology, and the game comes out later on this year, which is really cool because I thought it was going to be ages away. October 5th.
Really, and there's so many mini games like they showed in the trailer. There must be 50 at least. I mean,
and it's got online board game play as well, and it's back to traditional. This would be a big deal. Back to traditional Mario Party controls where you all move around. It looks like you all move around separately, as opposed to the stupid way they've tried to jam it in more recently, where you move around on a fucking golf cart, which is just absolutely horrendous.
Yeah.
So yeah, really keen for this.
I mean, last point on this, I really like how they're promoting because a lot of games now are pushing online only, especially mobile games. We have to be connected to a server or with the internet. Throughout this trailer, Nintendo are properly promoting how you play this offline with a group of people. Like in the trailer, they're playing out in the forest, for Pete's sake. So good. I like that. It's very good. So yeah, it looks fun. And I'm keen for that. And they also briefly touched on FIFA 18, FIFA 19, and also the Insane Trilogy, which is coming out in a few weeks' time, which I'm dead excited for. Can't wait.
Yeah, it's really soon, isn't it? One of the big announcements that I was really excited for, I don't know if you're across this game, Colin. It's an arcade game called Killer Queen. And Killer Queen Black, very good, is coming to Switch. They're saying winter 2018, so, end of this year, start of next, which is, Killer Queen is an arcade game. In the arcades, it's 5 vs 5, but on Switch, it's 4 vs 4. And it's a kind of 2D platformy action game where you can win the game in a bunch of different ways, either by killing the opponent's queen a couple of times, collecting enough of a certain item, berries, or basically doing a kind of capture the flag thing where you move a snail from one side of the screen to the other. And it's very tactical game. It's very frantic. If you've ever watched Let's Plays of it, it's really intense because you can play as either there's different roles. You have to change between them. You always have to be watching what the opponent's doing because there's so many different ways they can win. It looks really good for Switch, and online play is going to be really good as well. I think that's one that we can hopefully get really into.
Yeah, it looks fun. But the big question is, will there be gunpowder and gelatine? And will it be extraordinarily nice?
Very good. The last bit of news before we talk Smash is the indie hit from Team Cherry, Hollow Knight, did a kind of phantom drop on Switch yesterday. So it's now available on the eShop, includes all the content pack, and Gods and Glory pack is going to be free for all players later this year.
That's very exciting.
So,
and also, we didn't get any news on a Netflix app or a YouTube app. There had been a lot of leaks the day before saying that a listing had appeared where Netflix and YouTube were available to download, but it was surprisingly absent. A lot of people were sure this was the time for it, but that train still chugs along. When are we going to get a YouTube? Well, not so much YouTube. I think a Netflix app, because I just think the Switch is perfect for Netflix, especially if they've got the Hulu app in America. It just makes sense. But yeah, that was apparently absent. But let's move on to Smash. So every character known to man's in this game, apparently. Every single character.
64 characters, Colin.
Whoa, that's a lot of characters.
A fighting game with 64 characters. That is incredible.
But where is my boy Waluigi? That's the question we're asking. Why is he not there?
He's there. He's an assist trophy.
Yeah, but he's not though. He's not. You can't play as him and his big long legs.
He's an assist trophy.
Oh, that's what
This is classic Colin, by the way. They announced a game with 66 playable characters, and you're annoyed that Waluigi, this shit Luigi, isn't in there. Like, come on.
Did you think it was good though? Like they were now showing all the characters off with little clips, like little introduction, and Luigi and Yoshi were like put right at the end, as if like, oh yeah, here's those two, and like Luigi fell over an egg and Yoshi came out of it.
I thought that trailer where they revealed that they were all in it was just mesmerizing because they were so like clever with the way they placed the characters that made you think, oh well, this person's back, so I guess this person won't be back. And the fact that they were all there is just like mind-boggling. And
Pichu's there, for fuck's sake. Pichu.
Yeah. They're clearly making a real effort for, I mean, no pun intended, but they want this to be the ultimate Smash that lives on for years. I think they want to make a game that supersedes Melee in the kind of competitive stakes.
Yeah.
But also they want it to be, like friendly and approachable. Oh my God, it's so exciting. And like, I realized that in that Nintendo Direct, they did spend a long time going through like the upgrades to various characters. And I know that I realized for some people that must have been annoying. But for me, I thought that shit was really interesting. And it really showed like the attention to detail that's going into this game and how much that they're thinking about making this the kind of perfect Smash experience. And in fact, they were saying, things as tiny as like, oh, when you play as this character, you can dress like this. It's just like, I realize it's very minor, but I think if this is the big dive that we get into Smash info, it was just so great. And like the Ridley reveal at the end of the trailer
it's dark
amazing.
Though, wasn't it? Pretty really dark trailer. It killed like Mario and all the other characters who were with. Like who was the first character? Because it showed like a silhouette of like stabbing right through the fucking heart.
Yeah, it was Mega Man and Mario both got killed by Ridley in the trailer or whatever.
Brutal. And his little absolutely brutal.
Yeah. Ridley is really grim, and in the games is quite grim. And I think, did it kill Samus's? It might have killed Samus's parents. It certainly is like blown up planets and like it's a horrendous bag. Yeah, Ridley. This is from the wiki. Ridley was a famous space pirate general. After orphaning Samus and creating his greatest enemy, he had many battles with her and survived each and every one. Below is a full account of the history. So yeah, Ridley is. And for years has been, a meme, have Ridley in Smash, get Ridley in Smash. And it's, it's so exciting.
It shows that Nintendo knew that as well by waiting till the end to reveal it. and making such a big deal.
And I think like what I think is really good about this Smash game is, I mean, obviously I haven't played it, but looking at the reactions that people had online, on the subreddits, on YouTube, on streams, it's like it looks like Nintendo have really listened to what people wanted from this game. And they've made Final Smashes less obnoxious. They've made the game more like last for longer if there's more of you playing. Like the way the damage ranks is different. Like I just think that they've made some really smart quality of life things. And I was watching the invitational tournament earlier, and for classic example, in 1v1s in that game, if you die, when you respawn, it comes up and it shows you who's got more stocks left. So it's just like really good quality of life stuff. I think it's going to be a really great game, and it comes out in December 7th. I've already booked the day off work. I'm living for it, Colin. I'm so excited.
I've never played a Smash Bros game before, and I think this is probably the time to join the bandwagon and join the party, because if it's called the Ultimate Smash Bros experience, I've not really got an excuse really. But I mean, forgetting Ridley and forgetting all the characters, Pichu and whatever, the biggest thing is that they actually have announced Mario is going to be in the game, and that is really nice to see. I'm glad he's back.
Yeah, me too.
It's good. I was worried for a second when he wasn't on screen for like 2 seconds. But no, it's good. Obviously, they focus a lot on that. There are a few things that they didn't mention. Obviously, we said about the streaming services. What was the other thing they didn't?
A lot of people were surprised there wasn't any Metro play. But I read on the Switch subreddit earlier, and I think this is probably true actually, that Nintendo's new policy at streams and presentations is they're only going to show games they've got gameplay of.
That's good.
And I think that's it's a frustrating move for sure, but I think that is smart. I think that makes sense because last year we had the Metroid tease, we had the Pokemon tease. If they just tease with another logo or something, if they're not ready to show it, don't show it. Like, I think that's fair enough.
That's a bit like opposite to what Bethesda did with Elder Scrolls 6. They obviously didn't have anything to show, exactly. But they just got people hyped because it's pretty much saying, "Yep, we know it's gonna happen. We know we're doing it. So this is just to get the hype up." So yeah, I do like that method. But I mean, it's an exciting time for Switch at the moment. So obviously, quite a few games coming out this month. We've got Mario Aces out next week. We've also got the Insane Trilogy releasing next week, which I'm dead excited about. It's a very exciting time to be a Switch owner, and loads of indie games as well. It's gonna be dead good. And Fortnite as well, so there's no excuse because it's free. So I'm actually might download that in a moment, just so I've got the option to play that once get back into Skyrim again. I need to try and finish it before the new Elder Scrolls comes out, which at the pace I'm playing it will probably be about right. About 2-3 years time. Right. So, was there anything else that you liked from E3? Anything that you were excited about, or is that all your cheeks?
I think that's the main stuff to talk about. But I do want to give a shout out to that bit in the Ubisoft conference where they revealed the Star Fox DLC, because that was really well done and really smart. Yeah. Did you watch at the Ubisoft conference? They had Grant Kirkhope on to play live music from the DLC that's coming for Rabbids Kingdom Battle. Yeah. And like Kirkhope's like a real hero of mine. I think he's really great. And like it was just Ubisoft killed it. That conference was so cool. It was such good fun.
Yeah, there's a lot of positive vibes from it, which is good. A lot of good games. That was the whole thing of E3 this year. There was not much negativity. There was a lot of good games that were announced, and games were shown. People were excited. It just felt like a good feeling with this year's E3. In the past, there's been people moaning about different conferences and things that weren't shown or were shown. But yeah, I thought it was a good E3, a good, safe E3. I think the highlight for me was when Cyberpunk was revealed, how they did it so it looked like the conference had been hacked when it came up on the screen. Well, that was pretty cool.
I wondered what you thought of that, because I thought that was really awkward.
Right.
Like the actual trailer was good, but when they were like, "Whoa," I was not so keen on that bit.
Maybe I forgot about the woes, but I was just focusing so much on the fucking epic looking gameplay. So keen for it. Need a new IP in my life. Right. So shall we move on? We didn't do group chat last week because I think we busy peeps. So next week we got one. favorite E3 moment. Good
Yeah,
night,
I would love to know what people particularly reacted to, what they thought was done well, what they thought maybe could have been done differently. I mean, PlayStation's conference obviously came under a lot of flack from the way they treated viewers, kind of not at the conference. So we'd love to get your thoughts on that. Also, where were the PS Vita announcements?
What's a PS Vita?
Well, quite.
Exactly. It's dead.
How can people get in touch, Colin?
heroesofhandheld@gmail.com is our email address. We're on Twitter @handheld podcast. We're on Facebook. We're on YouTube. We're on Google Plus. You can go to our website, heroesofhandheld.wordpress.com. Go to the contact us section, and then you can find our details there. You can leave us a review on iTunes. We're on Stitcher as well. If you just Google Heroes of Handheld, we're there. We're all over it. We are all over it. And if you follow us on Twitter, you'll be treated to some fantastic news throughout the week. So we'd love to know what your favorite part of E3 was. And hope you're excited for more games, and more emphasis on handheld gaming as well, because all the other developers, all the other big names have realized that the Switch has done such a great job, and people want a portable device, and potentially Microsoft, Sony, and the others are looking into it. And more mobile games as well. So it's all fun.
So keen.
Dead keen on
Colin,
that.
it's been a pleasure.
It's been a pleasure for the 20 minutes or so I've managed to squeeze in. Thanks for sailing the ship without me at the beginning. Sorry, everyone.
Right. Next week proper.
Yeah, proper. So you're not away as a first thought.
No, I'm on it. Let's fucking go.
Let's fucking go on it. Thank you for listening, everybody. Back next week, same time, same place. And until then, enjoy playing your handheld gaming devices. Goodbye.
Bye.